Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. What a dominant showing against the Chicago Bears. Huge bounce back win. And I'm going to show you everything I loved. Quick rapid reaction film analysis, if you will, from this football game, because Kelvin Shepard said, or Aiden Hutchinson and Kelvin Shepard said, your defensive coordinator, they were like, we're going to be aggressive and then react instead of just reacting to whatever the offense gives us, kind of like they did last week against the Chicago Bears. They're going to be aggressive, and that's what we saw, whether it was the Kerby Joseph interception, whether it was Brian Branch right here's entire football game, whether it was Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Davenport, Tyleik Williams getting a couple pass deflections on the line. I loved everything I saw from this defense. They had over 500 yards of offense. They scored over 50 points, and I love that absolutely as well, and we're going to talk about it in this video. But folks, this defense, in my opinion, I never really had concerns about this offense. It's way too talented of a team, and as long as this defense can stay healthy, you see that hit on number 32 to DeAndre Swift, and Jack Campbell comes down with the fumble recovery. Folks, there was a lot that happened in this football game, so hit that like button and let's just get right into it. All right, guys, we're sticking with the defense here. He's actually going to do a nice spin move here on the left tackle. Aiden Hutchinson, welcome back. This whole defense I thought was all over the field. They had 4 total sacks, that interception, forced fumble. You're about to see the interception. But you see Aiden Hutchinson dodge the tight end. He's going up against the left tackle, spins right out of it, and then I don't know how Caleb Williams holds on to this football. I don't know how he stays upright, but he does. It's 2nd and 32. There's like 10 minutes left in the second. It's 14-17. But he's able to fall out of this pocket. And sorry, guys, NFL copyright's being a real pain in the A this season. Caleb just chucks it up, and Kerby Joseph athletically comes down, leaps, and grabs this football. And I know the final score 51 or 52-21. Caleb Williams did not look good. That Bears offense did not look good because there was pressure everywhere. They were stopping the run, and they were just making Caleb's life a living nightmare. All right, finally, a little offensive talk. I loved all the play calls, or I loved what I saw from John Morton tonight. Jared Goff went 23-28 for 334 yards. 5 touchdowns and no interceptions, and I like this creativity here in the red zone. Very simple. It's just this little stuff they did not do last week against the Green Bay Packers, and you're going to see a little play action, and we can barely see the start of this. You got Brock Wright moving in motion, and he's going to just find this open spot in the flat here. David Montgomery makes a beautiful block, goes low, perfect to Brock Wright, huge touchdown. They also ran the football well. I don't know how much we're going to show in this video. We're going to do plenty of film stuff, especially on my Lions channel, but 30 carries, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, one from both Monty and Jahmyr Gibbs. The Lions averaged 6 yards per carry tonight, and Jared Goff averaged 12 yards per completion. This was truly crazy. There's only 20 seconds left in the half here. Detroit doesn't have any timeouts. It's 21-14 Detroit's way. They end up scoring right after this, and Isaac TeSlaa brings this catch down. It's miraculous. There was a lot of stuff going on the field. It looked almost like the half was going to be over, and Detroit was, it's really confusing. This whole play was confusing because he looks out of bounds to me. This guy right here, the ref says it's out of bounds, but then the play clock keeps going, and Jared Goff gets the spike off after the zeros hit. And like I said, I'm from Chicago. You guys know I'm a Packers fan, and all my Bears buddies were saying it's, Bears versus the NFL. But Isaac TeSlaa looks out of bounds here. I guess he's currently in bounds, but he ends out of bounds. And the ref right there, I could have sworn he called it dead. So stop the clock, and they end up doing like a runoff, and Detroit scores on the very next play. But this is insane. He did this last week against Green Bay. We finally saw more snaps to Isaac, who wasn't feeling well before last week, and he comes down with this, which leads to a touchdown. And it's just all this small stuff. Detroit, both offensively and defensively, did excellent in this football game. You guys, real quick, because this is perfect. This is why Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown have such great chemistry. St. Brown finished with 3 total touchdowns. I'm probably not going to show you all of them in this video for just sake of time, but this is right after that TeSlaa catch, And St. Brown finished 9 catches, 115 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And just great to see this offense back on track, putting up 52 at home against Ben Johnson's return to Detroit. We called this in our video yesterday. Not too many people watched it. It was very late on a Saturday night, like 12 hours before this snap. But I called it. We said it on the channel. It was like, I really think the Bears are just going to get routed tomorrow from Detroit. Good to see it actually happen. Just kind of want to reiterate how dominant this defense was. We got Aiden Hutchinson here. Now you can barely see it, but it's 14-45. There's 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but obviously this game is well out of reach. And Aiden Hutchinson brings down Caleb Williams for the sack here. And this is what we saw all football game. Brian Branch finished with a sack. Al-Qadim Muhammad finished with a sack. He had a nice football game. Davenport finished with a sack. He did go down with an injury, walked out on his own power. So curious on how that Marcus Davenport, hopefully he's all good and that was just a little bit of a stinger. And then this Aiden Hutchinson sack, if we watch it, we'll watch all this, all 22 as the week progresses. But felt like there could have been 2 or 3 more of these from Aiden Hutchinson in this Lions defense. Caleb did a pretty decent job maneuvering out of the pocket, but definitely not here and as this game progressed. All right, guys, we'll end it here. Like I said, here on my Lions channel, we'll be breaking down all this film, so hit that like button if you guys enjoyed it. First Lions win of the season. I'm running out of breath here because of how excited I am for this, but 3rd and 8. All right, and the announcers were saying this. By the way, no disrespect necessarily to Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma, but I was really surprised Ben Johnson's return to Detroit brought those announcers. So they were saying this is something Ben Johnson and the Lions did such a great job of, where you've got Jamo who's just going to blow these, he's going to blow by everybody. And then you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, or sorry, that's not Amon-Ra St. Brown, that looks like Khalif Raymond. He's going to run nice mid-post. And it just kind of confuses the secondary here, and I don't really know why nobody is on Jamo. Beautiful throw from Jared Goff, great pocket presence, great pocket protection. Jared Goff had a really good game getting the ball out, but at the same time, this offensive line, I'm telling you, man, the Packers defense looks pretty crazy. They gave up no sacks, all right? So all the concerns about the center, Graham Glasgow, all the concerns about rookie right guard Tate Ratledge, Christian Mahogany at left guard, he's entering his sophomore campaign. There was a lot of kind of doom and gloom out in the world about how this new Lions offensive line is just not it. They're not going to hold up well. Kind of hard to evaluate offensive lines just during the course of a broadcast. So I'm excited for this all 22, but I had to show this because Jamo had 2 great catches. This one ends up going for 64 yards, and I don't think this was the one that went for 64 yards. This goes for about 45. It looks like 44, 45. Then he had a 64-yarder that he almost brought in. So there's so much to cover in this football game. We got a loaded week, but hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already, and run out of breath. Give me your player of the game down below. We'll see you soon. Peace.